Most people think of Anthony Davis as a superstar, but almost no one thinks he has a case for the best player in the game. Give me 9 minutes. Davis, like his maroon forefather Kevin Garnett, is one of those players who requires closer viewing to appreciate the totality of his impact. To begin with, AD is the best lob finisher in NBA history. With apologies to the other great lob threats ever, namely the flowing Shawn Kemp, the enormous Shaquille O'Neal, and a few vertical residents of Lob City, no one has ever combined the Brow's catch radius, dexterity, and movement to weaponize aerial finishing like this. Davis has had this freakish combination since college, and his ability to catch at challenging angles is jaw-dropping. The height at which he snatches these makes them so difficult to defend. Rudy Gobert is a phenomenal lob defender, but this is like a Space Jam dunk, it's so high and far out. The defender's thinking pocket pass here, and there's help in the lane, but it doesn't matter because AD can get these up in traffic. If you front the post, he has that off-ball spin move down, and he's mobile enough to make wing-like cuts. This is just a back cut, and Bam Adebayo's only recourse is reaching. Here he's guarded by a wing, but slips him with quickness like it's nothing. This kind of off-ball movement is usually reserved for small players, but Davis has tricks too, feigning like he's screen setting and then spinning back for the lob. Such quickness and size also lead to putbacks. Notice the little burst past Siakam here leading to inside position, then the finish in traffic. And Davis is a monster on the offensive glass too, posting Shaq-like numbers there the last few seasons. As discussed earlier this year, these skills make him a dangerous transition threat, rooting down for offensive boards or lob catching over smaller, helpless defenders. There's a small forward quality to Davis's movement, here coming off a pin down for a little one-legged fadeaway. He pops to the mid-range a lot in the two-man game too. Although his accuracy from here is only passable, which is consistent with his uninspiring efficiency on outside shots. He's made 35% of catch-and-shoot threes this year, which lands him in the 25th percentile among qualifying players, but because he's a big man, that is just enough to provide spacing value and to keep defenses honest. Notice how he flares back into these shots comfortably, a subtle bit of movement to slide open, and this provides tactical versatility, seamlessly twirling from screen setter into the target while defenses have to worry about his rim runs. At times the Brow is downright guard-like, able to attack closeouts like he's a wing instead of a big, and he's not Giannis, but he'll throw in a drive and a Euro step occasionally too. AD played guard until a massive growth spurt in his junior year of high school, great delivery, and it shows, allowing him to play like a guard in some sets. Here he delivers the lob, and his ball handling and agility are a handful for bigs, allowing him to create for teammates. One bit of playmaking that's improved over the years is his lay-down passing, able to punish defenses quickly when they step in front of his drives. AD is pretty good at hitting cutters out of the post like this, but he doesn't anticipate openings and misses the more dynamic ones like these. He sees this a little too late, although still dishes out a nice skip pass out of the double. Davis is pretty comfortable hitting corner pockets like this off of doubles. Poor JaVale. And he'll dime up shooters like this if the defense loads to him too hard. He's also trying different, tighter passing windows now. This is a pretty spot-on delivery and an uncalled foul, and adding these higher value dimes has helped improve his playmaking value. On the other hand, he still misses them occasionally. Even with one arm tied up here, this requires better footwork to turn and fire, even to hit the corner. A sturdier, more forceful delivery would help in the future. He has a habit of soft-arming passes like this, and these delicate butterflies can lead to turnovers when fastballs could have been diming up teammates. Of course, Davis is drawing these doubles because he's a handful in isolation, too quick for many bigs, but also powerful enough to finish at the cup. Half of his offense comes at the rim or from the line, and his best post moves are a gorgeous turnaround and a nasty spin move he uncorks regularly. Still, those little jumpers aren't super accurate, and according to Synergy, his points per possession on these post-ups is 21st among the high-volume players, making it good but not deadly. I view it as a value add to his incredible diversity and massive off-ball value. And by the way, there's a great argument that given his lob game, offensive rebounding, and outside shooting, AD is basically the best off-ball big man we've seen since Larry Bird. But offense alone wouldn't make Davis a top-tier player. His unique physical tools shape his defensive impact too. The same 7.5-foot wingspan that gives him an enormous catch radius makes him an elite shot blocker, and he's quick enough off the floor to close distance in a blink, coming from the opposite side here. Davis is accurate targeting the ball, that's an incredible save from behind, and he's long enough to put this in his crosshairs and kill it. His body control is an asset too, almost stabbing the pass here, then immediately swiveling around and honing in on this dunk attempt. He can often handle big wings, here switched onto Paul George, then he doesn't bounce himself out of position, ready to pounce on the shot before a questionable foul. Watch how he positions himself given his length and recovery. He slides toward the play here, not worried about this pass, and that means he's ready to rim protect. He constantly shrinks the court like this, aware of the ball and man, and can alter shots this way. Then he's outrunning everyone in transition. And he can do this when he's switched onto guards too. His length makes this pass hard, so he's playing the passing lane and the post-up at the same time, and it's an unreal block from behind and then rebound. Davis gets plenty of steals in passing lanes like this by discharging these T1000 arms at the last second. That's going the other way for a pick six. Sometimes he can target entry passes too, making them extremely difficult. And other times it's that length-dexterity combination, and you know where this is headed. He also generally just makes sound backline rotations, able to erase athletic rim runners fairly easily. He's really quick to pull down on these plays. Here Miami wants to distract the defender into the corner, but again, he stays home with his positioning, and Bam Adebayo has no shot against a loaded brow. Davis has had a small blind spot in past years, becoming preoccupied with cutters in front of him, but he's been locked in this season, lingering here before safely leaving to a closeout. AD's in rarefied air as a defensive playmaker. He's only the 12th man ever with at least a 5% block rate and 2% steal rate, and this is his 5th time notching the feat. And all of this makes Davis exceptionally versatile. LA deploys him like a Swiss Army knife. Notice he blocks passing lanes while playing the drive and keeps a hand down to then force the turnover. Here he is sticking Kawhi Leonard in pick and roll, and he can recover to block a dunk off the pocket pass. That's crazy. When matched up with wings, he is a bit vulnerable to their step back specifically. This quick north to south change of direction isn't his strength and does create space against him. He also doesn't have perfect footwork, relying on length and general mobility to track players, although he does have those fluid hips that allow for solid agility against these kinds of penetrators. Lastly, he's a touch vulnerable to power because he's light on his feet like this, although he can handle some of the most explosive athletic forwards in the game in isolation, like Pascal Siakam or Giannis. Here he easily handles the scariest thing in basketball coming downhill at him in transition. Add in elite defensive rebounding, and it's no wonder impact metrics view him as one of the best defenders in basketball, and thus one of the most valuable players in the game. And I actually think these underrate Davis this year. He looked better last season despite arguably weaker play, because Laker bench units are designed to thrive around LeBron James's playmaking, suppressing AD's plus-minus when James is on the bench. Davis's scoring numbers spike with LeBron out, but his offensive versatility and defense suffer in that role. Instead, I think he thrives next to basically any kind of perimeter star, mixing his on and off ball talents with defensive player of the year level impact on the other end. And the overall effect of that, in my mind, is a solid MVP level player. To support this channel and access proprietary stats and additional content, check out patreon.com/thinkingbasketball. Thanks so much for your support right now, and as always, wherever you are, I hope that you're having a great day.